why get someone else to do my voice when you can have the genuine article? Or as they say in French, j'habillais du flambrant.
My wife, Blake, who is sitting right there, who is everything to me. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Second only to this star on the Hollywood box office.
It was a toss-up for a minute there. Should I like quarantine with my publicly facing family or my secret family in Denmark? It was a real toss-up. I miss Luna Lerket and Un very much so.
But then Blake shows up uninvited, I might add.
Oh my goodness, that is unbelievable.
I thought she's just been pounding beer, and it turns out that she's like 6 months pregnant.
Has Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's go-to wisecracker and seemingly perfect family man, finally run out of places to hide? For years, audiences have adored his slick humor, self-deprecating charm, and big-screen heroics, especially in the Deadpool franchise. Yet, behind those trademark quips, there's mounting speculation that his comedic bravado is more than simple entertainment. It might be a shield protecting a complex, sometimes troubling reality. Recent rumors suggest that everything from conflicts with co-stars to the sudden collapse of a once-buzzy streaming project could be unraveling his carefully built reputation. But is Hollywood's beloved funny guy really the puppet master of behind-the-scenes drama, or just another actor caught in the industry's brutal crossfires? Before we dive in, keep in mind that there's a delicate blend here. Verifiable facts, interwoven with fan theories, industry chatter, and fresh speculation that's gaining traction online. Some fans believe he's done nothing wrong, while others see a pattern of questionable decisions. As you watch, ask yourself, is Ryan's comedic persona simply a natural extension of who he really is, or a layer of deflection carefully crafted to keep messy details out of the spotlight? Buckle up, because we're about to uncover the unexpected, the controversial, and the downright puzzling pieces of the Ryan Reynolds puzzle.
And then we had our children, and that's when I realized that I love gin.
Ryan Reynolds first captured public affection with his quick-witted roles in movies like Van Wilder and TV shows like Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. He established himself as the sarcastic, quick-tongued heartthrob, an image that followed him into blockbuster hits, culminating in the runaway success of Deadpool. Yet, despite the public's adoration of his comedic style, some industry insiders whisper that behind his perfectly timed one-liners lies a man who uses humor as a strategic shield. A recent theory suggests that Reynolds carefully curates comedic Easter eggs in his work, nudges and winks aimed at industry figures who might have wronged him or tried to critique his performances. According to this rumor, these offhand jokes serve a dual purpose. They delight fans while subtly calling out people he considers adversaries. It's a speculation that resonates with those who say he's skilled at using laughter to dodge any confrontation or accountability. By turning every dispute into a tongue-in-cheek gag, he steers the public discourse away from serious allegations and keeps the spotlight on his carefully maintained image as Hollywood's resident nice guy.
And you, decent guy?
No. Terrible human being.
If true, this deflection tactic may have worked in his favor for a long time. After all, how do you stay mad at someone who makes even the harshest situation feel like a stand-up routine? But cracks may be showing. More and more people, from co-stars to stunt teams, have begun to share experiences that shed light on a man who, some believe, can pivot from kind collaborator to controlling figure the moment the cameras stop rolling. Is it all overblown gossip? Or are we finally seeing the edges of a persona meticulously woven around comedic charm? Until recently, fans might not have realized how serious Ryan Reynolds was about expanding beyond Hollywood.
I used to say to her, I would take a bullet for you. I could never love anything as much as I love you. I would say that to my wife, and then the second I looked in that baby's eyes, I knew in that exact moment that if we were ever under attack, I would use my wife as a human shield to protect that baby.
In mid-2023, he signed a much-hyped deal with Fubo, a streaming platform aiming to straddle the line between traditional cable and modern-day digital viewership. The agreement was reportedly massive. Reynolds' company, Maximum Effort, got millions of dollars in shares, plus creative control over a dedicated linear channel. Branded as the Maximum Effort channel, it promised original shows, reruns of cult classics, and a sprinkling of new experimental segments. On paper, it looked like Ryan Reynolds had found the perfect avenue to unleash his comedic genius upon an even broader audience. He curated nostalgic sitcoms like Absolutely Fabulous, Mad TV, Kids in the Hall, and peppered them with Ryan-approved programming such as Bedtime Stories with Ryan. These bedtime stories, according to promotional materials, would soothe viewers with a calm, comedic approach, just what everyone needed in a chaotic world.
You're making jokes about your baby daughter who's 6 weeks old or something?
She's fair game, Dave.
But fast forward to January 2025, and FUBU quietly pulled the plug on the entire venture, scrubbing references to the Maximum Effort channel from its platform. Many were baffled because the joint press releases initially touted this as a multi-year partnership that would revolutionize streaming. Now, no official statement has emerged from either FUBU or Maximum Effort regarding why they parted ways. So suddenly, while some chalk it up to poor viewer retention and niche content, others speculate that the abrupt removal coincided suspiciously with legal troubles brewing elsewhere for Ryan Reynolds. Observers can't help wondering if negative headlines, involving allegations of bullying or a complicated lawsuit, might have spooked FUBU's board. Streaming services are sensitive to reputational risks, especially when sponsors or advertisers threaten to back out. Indeed, many noticed that the main advertisers on Reynolds' channel were his own brands, Betty Buzz, Mint Mobile, and other personal ventures. Critics pointed out it felt like a vanity project, funded by a tight circle of corporate partners that Ryan already owned or had a stake in.
So we talked to Mark Ruffalo recently, and he said that
sorry.
I know. He's real hard work, that
Yeah,
one.
I know, right? What a
Meanest
diva.
guy in Hollywood.
Did outside sponsors pass on the channel because of the swirling controversies? Or did the platform's synergy with Reynolds simply evaporate once the ratings didn't live up to the hype? Either way, the once celebrated FUBU deal now stands as a glaring question mark. For an actor who seemed to have an unbreakable winning streak, especially after success in everything from gin ventures to sports investments, this quiet collapse feels like the first real bruise on his unstoppable image. Could it be a sign of deeper issues ahead? While the FUBU fiasco could be chalked up to creative differences or low ratings, the rumored feud with fellow actor and filmmaker Justin Baldoni is harder to dismiss as mere coincidence. According to reports, Baldoni accused Ryan Reynolds of calling him to a private penthouse meeting, allegedly in a fury over comments Baldoni had made about Blake Lively's physical appearance. Baldoni, for his part, denies ever making such remarks and insists his references to weight were tied to a personal training regimen to help with back problems, not aimed at body shaming. Lively. Fans and insiders took notice because this confrontation didn't occur in a vacuum. It happened amid broader whispers that Ryan Reynolds has a habit of strong-arming his way through projects when he feels threatened or criticized.
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
To add fuel to the fire, Baldoni has filed or amended a complaint suggesting Ryan engaged in extortion and defamation. If that's true, this wouldn't be just another petty Hollywood spat. It might point to a serious power play at work. Some speculate that Reynolds sought to blackball Baldoni by painting him as an untrustworthy figure, even telling fellow industry professionals that Baldoni was bad news or worse. The question is, did such behind-the-scenes maneuvering push Baldoni out of major deals or off certain projects, effectively crippling his career for a time? Publicly, we don't have a smoking gun, just allegations, counter-allegations, and murky details.
And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively for providing us with that distraction. I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good. I think everybody in this room, no matter whose side you're on, we can all agree to accept that there's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
But the scenario itself highlights a recurring refrain. When Ryan Reynolds feels his career, image, or close circle is threatened, he comes out swinging. In a broader sense, the Baldoni standoff also feeds into the narrative that Reynolds uses, his comedic appeal not just for entertainment, but as a means to control the storyline. If you can make the world laugh at someone else's expense, you distract them from your own flaws. And though it's unclear how deep this feud runs, its timing with the collapse of the FUBU deal and the swirl of negative publicity is certainly stirring speculation in Hollywood circles. For many viewers, Deadpool was a comedic revelation, combining Reynolds' trademark humor with blockbuster action. The sequel, Deadpool 2, promised more of the same irreverent wit, bigger stunts, and a guaranteed box office hit. But amid all the hype, a tragic incident occurred on set. Professional stuntwoman lost her life in a motorcycle accident. Official investigations later concluded that safety protocols were insufficient, citing that the operator was asked not to wear proper safety headgear and didn't receive adequate orientation. While Reynolds wasn't physically present during the accident, he was credited as a writer and producer on Deadpool 2, with his production company, Maximum Effort, also listed. Critics argue that being so closely tied to the project, particularly as a credited producer, places some responsibility on his shoulders. Yet, when reports of workplace violations emerged, Ryan seemed to vanish from that conversation.
Really making me rethink stunts. I've been doing action movies for 25 years. I've broken 12 bones. I just had a 7th surgery. And, you know, kids, though, they beat you up. Rethinking doing stunts now because I'm starting to realize, like, I want to be able to still kind of be active with my kids.
The larger studio involved, 20th Century Fox, took the brunt of public scrutiny. Over time, they reached undisclosed settlements, but fans rarely heard his name associated with the lawsuit or the official safety violations. Some fans wonder if he leveraged his star power to remain unaffected by the negative PR. Others contend he was simply too far removed from the day-to-day rigging decisions to be held personally accountable. Regardless of the truth, many in the industry point to this as yet another example of how Reynolds sidesteps serious fallout. Hollywood insiders have noted that if your name is big enough and your movies churn out massive returns, studios might shield you from backlash to protect future box office potential. It's a difficult topic. On one hand, no one wants to blame an actor for a complex production accident. On the other hand, Deadpool was, and continues to be, Ryan Reynolds' signature franchise, a series he openly claims as his. Some argue that with great credit comes great responsibility. Did he do enough to ensure the environment was safe? Or did the comedic star once again find a way to tiptoe out of the shadows just before the headlines flared up?
Will we maybe see a Deadpool 4?
Oh, God, no. My wife and children will divorce me. And
The kids will divorce you?
I have no prenup with any of them.
You can't
I will be capital B broke and in turn probably then doing Deadpool 4.
Yeah. So we cannot make that happen.
So yeah.
A growing chorus online suggests Ryan Reynolds' comedic persona isn't just a character trait, but a carefully crafted marketing machine. This line of thinking posits that each witty social media post, cameo, and brand endorsement is meticulously planned to elevate his name into a global brand. Look at his ventures: Aviation Gin, Mint Mobile, Betty Buzz, and a slew of other personal labels that conveniently pop up in his films or ad campaigns. While there's nothing inherently wrong with capitalizing on success, some fans believe it crosses into narcissistic territory when every new project seems designed to funnel money back into companies he owns. Consider the now-defunct Maximum Effort channel on FUBU. The main advertisers were, by and large, Reynolds' own brands. The synergy might be brilliant marketing, but skeptics argue it looks more like a single closed-loop enterprise than an entertainment channel for diverse audiences. Additionally, critics point to rumored instances of Reynolds insisting on creative control, rewriting lines on set, and overshadowing co-stars who challenge his approach. A few industry folks have gone on record claiming that if you disagree with his comedic direction, you risk alienating the star, and by extension, the financiers, and studios counting on his name recognition. Some speculate that he's very charming until you cross him, says one unverified rumor swirling around Hollywood forums. Then there's the everyday fatherly persona, talk show anecdotes, social media posts about parenting, or heartfelt interviews in which he professes love for his family. It's undeniably endearing.
Out of our whole family, she's the only one that got the secondary security pat down.
At 2 years old. All right, so what is
And
this
she-
shady 2-year-old up
But
to?
she just like takes it like a hardened felon. Like she's just like,
Search me. What's up?
However, some watchers question whether this is just another layer in the brand persona, a lovable dad next door with a razor-sharp wit. Could it be genuine? Absolutely. But the cynics online point out that being seen as a devoted family man often softens public perception, making it easier to dismiss allegations of darker behavior as mere tabloid gossip. It's no secret that Hollywood can be an unforgiving place. The power players, actors, producers, directors can dictate whether a smaller name finds work or gets quietly blacklisted. If the rumors are true that Reynolds wields considerable sway, it's easy to see how people might think twice before speaking out against him. One friend or collaborator's negative comment could transform into lost roles, spurned deals, or frozen relationships with influential studios. This environment creates a culture of compliance, with cast and crew prioritizing job security over honesty. Much like we've seen in other high-profile takedowns across the entertainment industry, it often takes one or two brave individuals to step forward before a wave of testimonies can follow.
We help each other, we work together so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you now. He works on everything I do, I work on everything he does, so his wins, his celebrations are mine, and mine are his. I mean, he's all over this film.
Some fans believe that if more insiders banded together against Reynolds' alleged tactics, it could open the floodgates, says one popular online forum dedicated to showbiz gossip. And yet, for every rumor of fear-mongering or hush tactics, there are plenty of folks who praise Reynolds for being generous with jokes, on-set morale, and giving up-and-coming writers a chance. Could it be a case of selective behavior? Maybe he's supportive when unchallenged, turning combative only if criticized.
That is where that is where my experience with Ryan Reynolds. Now he obviously matured as a human being, and but he was doing the same thing. That's always been his shtick, his thing. Yeah,
The truth remains elusive, buried beneath layers of rumor and hearsay. What's undeniable is that the whisper network in Hollywood is complex, and reputations can be made or unmade in an instant. If Reynolds has, in fact, made enemies, one has to wonder when or if they'll speak out en masse. One of the most powerful dimensions of Reynolds' public persona is his self-proclaimed devotion to family. Audiences can't get enough of his jokes about fatherhood or his banter with his wife, Blake Lively. Some fans see them as hashtag couple goals, witty, gorgeous, endlessly supportive of each other on social media. In interviews, Ryan often highlights the importance of empathy and being present for his children.
How old are your girls now?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Which resonates with viewers who appreciate a dad that isn't afraid to talk about feelings. However, a conflicting narrative emerges from the speculation swirling in the entertainment press that this family man image is a polished front. Skeptics argue that it's all too perfect. The red carpet photos, the charming banter, the comedic one-liners, and the unwavering positivity whenever fatherhood is mentioned. It's a narrative that plays extremely well in the press, garnering heartfelt headlines and supportive tweets. And in an era where authenticity is currency, being the great dad who jokes around endears him to fans across the globe. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, rumors persist that business associates and lesser-known co-stars have encountered a different version of Ryan. Some claim he's hyper-focused on brand building, always conscious of how any interaction might affect public perception. Is that necessarily sinister? Not on its own. Many celebrities do the same. But paired with stories of alleged intimidation or controlling behavior on set, it suggests a man whose private ambitions and professional conduct might not match the everyman image he serves up on talk shows. We may never fully know how genuine or rehearsed certain aspects of his fatherly persona are. Regardless, fans continue to root for him, some out of sincere admiration, others because they see fatherhood as a universal soft spot. It creates a compelling push and pull. Is he a marketing mastermind playing at paternal perfection? Or simply a fun-loving dad whose comedic skill set makes everything appear extra polished? So where does Ryan Reynolds stand now?
You're just like, what do you want for dinner, sweet angel? And she's just like, I want Cheerios.
He has lost the much ballyhooed deal with Fubu, which many insiders considered a potential turning point for his brand beyond traditional Hollywood. Rumors of behind-the-scenes battles, from the Baldoni dispute to allegations of overshadowing co-workers, continue to swirl. And the tragic stunt incident on Deadpool 2 still lingers as a sobering reminder that comedic talent and box office success don't insulate anyone from serious accountability questions. At the same time, Ryan's comedic persona remains robust robustly adored by a huge swath of the public. His occasional philanthropic gestures, witty Twitter exchanges, and viral marketing campaigns keep fans engaged and supportive. Hollywood, after all, loves a bankable star who can lighten the mood and fill theater seats. Is the Reynolds empire poised to expand once again, or will these controversies slowly chip away at his once bulletproof image? Ultimately, the final word may rest with audiences. Will fans continue to embrace the wisecracking Deadpool star, or will more stories and accusations bring an end to his comedic reign? Perhaps we're at the beginning of a larger shift, or maybe this is merely a bump in the road for a savvy entertainer. What do you think? Are we witnessing a subtle takedown of one of Hollywood's biggest names? Or is this all just rumor gone wild? Let us know in the comments below, because the true verdict on Ryan Reynolds is still unfolding, and it might be far more complex than any punchline could ever capture.